Ollie, man, someone stole my dog. Can you believe it? I said, that's terrible. Yeah, it is. I had gotten a visit from a big, tough guy named Eric. Eric was sad and furious because somebody had stolen his dog. I mean, he's the sweetest little dog. And, I mean, he's like my best friend, man. But also, I mean, I guess the thing is, this dog, you can't just throw it in the back of a car. It's like delicate. This dog has freaking papers, man. It's like a purebred Pomeranian. It's a fancy dog. I said, okay. So when did this happen? Happened 2 days ago. I got home and my back door had been jimmied open. I could tell there were scratch marks along, like where the latch hit the door. And I looked all around, and whoever broken in, well, I mean, they took some cash that was on my mantelpiece, and then they took Phil. And Phil's the dog, I said. Yeah. His full name is Philippi the Magnificent Jensen, because my last name's Jensen. I said, right, sure. But he goes by Phil for short. I'm just so worried, man. I mean, I don't know why they took him or where they took him. I'm flabbergasted. I said, okay, is Phil microchipped? Shh. Yeah, for sure. And I've called all the shelters, and nothing. I said, how do you know that the dog was stolen, that Phil was stolen, as opposed to a thief broke in looking to get random stuff and just Phil wandered out? Oh, I mean, like I said, Phil's, he's kind of a delicate creature, and I don't just leave him out in my house when I'm away. He's got a crate, and it's like the lap of luxury. It is a nice, nice crate. It's got a couch inside. It's big enough that I could fit inside. I don't want to give the impression I'm like leaving my dog in a rough cage when I'm gone, but he does better when he feels safe and in his crate when I'm not there. And so I always put him in the crate, and when I got there, the crate was open. So I know that somebody let him out or took him. I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, if you're breaking into somebody's house just to break into somebody's house and take stuff, you wouldn't let the dog out. Most burglars are afraid of dogs. They don't want to mess with dogs. I said, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Okay. Let's operate under the assumption that they came there for Phil. Because it sounds like Phil is the most valuable thing they took. Not that he's a thing. I mean, he's, a dog. He's a part of my family. I said, absolutely. So you said he's a purebred Pomeranian. Is that rare? I mean, there are plenty of purebred Pomeranians out there, although there are not very many in the Baltimore area for whatever reason. You get more up in like New York City and down in Florida. There's a few, but yeah, I mean, the local Pomeranian society, not really local even, it's like a Maryland chapter. It seems to be mostly girl dogs. I said, I see. All right, so it's kind of unusual to have a purebred male Pomeranian, at least here in Baltimore. Right. But I don't know what you would do with a stolen dog. I mean, like, he's got the microchip, he's got papers. Any reputable, dog person would scan the microchip and they'd find that it's mine. I mean, I've already reported the theft to the microchip company. So if somebody scans the microchip, it's going to come up as that's my dog and that the dog's been stolen. So, you can't sell. Anyone that would be interested in buying a purebred Pomeranian would scan the dog's microchip I said, yeah, no, I get it, that makes sense. Well, let me think, let me do some digging. If you think of anything else that might be a clue, please let me know. All right, will do. Thank you, Ollie, for taking the case. I'm very worried about Phil. I said, yeah, no, I would be too. So Ollie sat down and he thought after Eric left. So let me think about the clues that I have. It's a purebred male dog, kind of rare. The thief didn't take anything else other than some cash. And he called out in the apartment to see if Eric was still there. And he was. He was just making a phone, or on his phone outside the apartment building. I said, Eric, how many people know that you have this dog? I said, oh, well, I mean, you know, any of my neighbors. Honestly, I talk about Phil kind of a lot, so any of my neighbors, any of my friends, some of my coworkers, some of the people in the community association. I'd say I'm pretty, broadly associated with this dog. I said, okay, that makes sense, thanks. So I thought about some more. So everybody knows he's got this dog. He talks about the dog a lot. Somebody comes and steals the dog. It's got to be somebody that he knows. But it sounds like a lot of people that he knows know about the dog. So who would have a motivation to steal a dog? Who would have a motivation to steal a rare purebred male dog, Pomeranian? He thought, and he thought, and he thought. And he thought, well, if somebody was trying to breed purebred Pomeranians, and they only had female Pomeranians, that might be a reason. And so he went on Craigslist, and there's like a dogs section. And he looked around. He looked around a lot in the past couple of days. And then he saw it. About a week ago, there was a post. It said, dog breeder looking for purebred male for breeding will pay big bucks. I thought, wait a second, there's a reason. Where is this person? And the person was just up in the north part of the city, up in kind of like the part that's kind of country-like, but it's still actually the city. Oh, so no. So he looked at the ad, pulled it up, and there was a phone number. Shh. He called the number, and a lady answered. Said, hello, this is Mary. Hi, Mary. Are you the Pomeranian breeder that put the ad in Craigslist about a week ago looking for a male Pomeranian? I said, yes, that's me, but I'm all set now, thank you. I said, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. Because I have reason to believe that the male Pomeranian that came and visited your breeding operation might have been stolen. Oh, that is strange. I mean, it did seem like this guy didn't know much about dog breeding. He was an odd character. Well, then, of course, there's the big thing. I said, what's that? Well, he never came back for the dog. The male dog is still here. I mean, I've been tickled pink because that makes my thing a whole lot easier. But, yeah, he never came back. I paid him. And, yeah, just disappeared. I said, so you have the dog? You still have the dog? I said, oh, yeah, he's actually right here on my lap. He's a very friendly little guy. I said, is there a collar on or anything? I said, yeah, looks like a brand new collar. It says Milton. It has a phone number. I tried to call the number on the collar, though, and it's not connected to anything. The number just says this person's not available. I said, do you have any other information about the guy that brought Milton to you? I said, no. I mean, he was a tall guy, light sandy hair, kind of tan skin. He drove up in a, oh, I don't know, some sort of nondescript sedan of some sort. I'm not sure. He looked kind of like a lot of different people. He's pretty nondescript. I mean, he just was so eager to make the deal. He didn't really ask a whole lot of questions. I said, is it normal for the male dog to, like, stay for a few days in this kind of situation? I said, oh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty normal. And I got, like I said, I had his information. I thought I did. But apparently I don't. But he definitely has mine because he called me and he came here. Yeah, I mean, usually it's 2 to 3 days. We agreed on 3 days. And poof. I said, well, where are you? You're located up in the north part of the city, right? He said, yeah. Can I come up and scan the dog's microchip and see if it's this missing dog? I said, oh, absolutely. If it's just a stolen dog, I mean, I feel bad for having, helped this thief, and yeah, I want to get him back to his owner. I said, all right, I can be up there in about 2 hours, if that works for you. I said, oh, sure, I'll be here. So I called a friend of his that worked in a veterinarian's office and asked to borrow the scanner. And the person said, actually, I'll just come with you. I can't lend you the scanner, but I can come with you. I'll just stop it. And when Ollie told Eric that he had a lead and what the lead was, Eric said, oh, please let me come along too. I can't wait. I gotta know. Even if it's not Phil, I gotta know. So they all went up. They all went in Eric's car, drove up there. Ollie and the vet went first. Phil said, I'm going to wait in the car. I'm too anxious. I don't want to spook anybody. I'm kind of a big, scary guy. I said, sure, that's fine. I'll come right back out and tell you. The vet went over and scanned, and they met the lady, and they scanned the dog. The beep, and it came right up. It said, Phil the Magnificent Jensen. Warning, this dog has been reported missing. Please call, and they gave a number. I said, yes, it's Phil. They said, Phil? The dog's name is really Phil? I said, yep, Phil the Magnificent. Well, he's a lovely little dog, so I think that name is entirely appropriate. Right about then, Eric's head came poking around the corner and said, I'm sorry, I couldn't wait. The suspense was killing me. Is it Phil? Oh, it is Phil. It's Phil, right? I said, it's Phil. And with that, the dog ran and leapt into Eric's arms, and there was much snuggling. And that was the case of Ollie and the stolen dog.